delivered his third touchdown toss of the day. Cuts back to the left of the 10. Breaks a tackle to the 5. Kyler Murray with a touchdown run. Cuts it upfield, and he walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Patriots!
Hour 2 of Good Morning Football Weekend presented by Allstate. Here we go. We're moving. We're grooving. We are back here for week 2. I mean, it's Saturday. It's a perfect day to talk about football. Right, Jeezy?
Let's go. Beautiful day outside. I haven't been outside yet, but I assume it's beautiful outside.
This delay is also awesome. Super excited about that. All right, so let's just get into it at this point. Happy belated birthday to Deshaun Watson. He turned 25 years old this week. Look at that, with the cake there in the end zone. His birthday was Monday. The Texans posted this on Instagram. Shout out their quarterback. But solar return, that's correct. But the Ravens, they're in town to spoil the party here. Here's Watson on that loaded Baltimore defense.
This year and the talent they got is very, very top-notch. One of the best defenses we're going to see throughout the year. And they do a good job of, creating different, pressures up front, doing a different, variety of blitzes to keep you on your toes and P's and Q's. And we just got to make sure that we're locked in and, focus on our tasks and our game plan and, take it one play at a time.
Tough draw for this Houston defense. First, they have to deal with Patrick Mahomes and now Lamar Jackson. Rob, let's start with him tomorrow. What are you looking for from Lamar?
Well, guys, last week was the first time that I seen Lamar Jackson in his professional career look down the field and start to move people with his eyes and throw the ball vertically up the field, accurately, outside the numbers, accurately. And of course, I have some tape to show you exactly what I'm talking about. But if this evolution continues, the rest of the National Football League better watch out. I mean, check this out right here. Watch the pinpoint accuracy. You see the window dressing going on in the backfield. He looks at the running back first to move the safety. And now watch this throw across the middle, across the defender's face, accurately dropped a dime in the middle of the field. I mean, this looked like Tom Brady of old. I'm just saying, I'm not saying he's as accurate as Tom, but just check this play out right here. A deep corner route after the play action. Look at all the space. First of all, look at the protection because of the play action. Lamar Jackson moved the safety with his eyes and watch this dime. He dropped it right in the bucket. The receiver almost didn't even have to break stride to catch the football. This guy was 11 for 13 on passes, 10-plus yards down the football field. And what that does is that forces linebackers to drop back a little bit more, to expand their drops a little bit more, and it gives them space in that read option. I tell you one thing, if he can continue to put this on tape, guys, he might run for almost 2,000 yards because there's going to be so much space created because of his vertical passing threats down the football field.
On those passes of 10 or more yards, Mike Robb, his passer rating was 158.3. Last I checked, that's what we call a perfect passer rating because you can't get higher than that. So you're right about that. And I'm thinking in terms of Deshaun Watson and the Texans because 2 weeks in a row they're going to have to go up against an offense and a quarterback that can do that. They better do that themselves. And last week against the Chiefs, the Texans' downfield passing game was an absolute mess. Whether it was Watson misfiring maybe on a throw or a breakdown in the pass protection that just gave him no chance or maybe some kind of route combination that the Chiefs were all over. They could not push the ball downfield. A lot of their big passing plays were screens or short passes that the guy then got yak on afterwards. So if they want to stay in this game, they've got to come out, attack downfield. They've got the guys in the receiving position to do it, but they just got to make it happen, and they've got to protect up front to give them the chance to make it happen.
Yeah, and Jeezy, you said the big if. They have to protect up front. That's the big if. We know the Texans have speed at the receiver position. They can stretch the field. But when I look at this Baltimore Ravens defense, they have DBs that can run with those guys and make plays when you think about Humphreys and Peters and Chuck Clark and other guys in that secondary. And then you couple that with the dudes they're going to have up front rushing. Calais Campbell, Derek Wolfe, McPhee, Patrick Queen, who we mentioned, the rookie linebacker. you know, the Ravens are so talented on defense, and I think that the Ravens offense is going to put the pressure on Houston so that they're going to be behind it. They're going to have to pass. And I just don't see, I love Deshaun Watson, and I know he's a competitor, but I just think they are overmatched in this one. You know, I think the Baltimore Ravens defense is going to have their way.
Yeah, it's true. It feels like the Texans played the Chiefs like 37 years ago at this point. But the one thing that I remember from that game on the side of the Texans was that Deshaun Watson was not getting the protection he needed. Now, part of that is because he was holding on to the ball too long at times. But Matthew Judon on the other side, you know that he is coming for this line. The last time that these two play, Judon had an insane game. He had 2 sacks, 3 TFLs, 4 quarterback hits, a forced fumble. I mean, the entire Ravens squad dominated that team. It was a 41-7 blowout. But Titus Howard, he did not have the greatest game last week. And you know Wink Martindale is going to dial up all sorts of pressures and disguise a bunch of stuff. So I think that this is a game where, D-Hall, as you mentioned, this Baltimore defense is really going to get after Deshaun Watson and the Texans. So we'll see 2 of the top 5 passer rating leaders all time on the field tomorrow, Mike Rob. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. But, I mean, to you guys' point, I mean, Deshaun Watson, just don't give up the bad plays, man. Understand when the play is over, and I think you'll be fine.
Yep, and as you can see right here, highest career passer rating right there. Lamar Jackson, number 2. Deshaun Watson right there at 5. Along with Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson. Great company for sure. So that leads us to names and numbers. We're going to run through some big names. We'll tell you who will have the bigger numbers coming up this week. Jeezy, let's start here. More total touchdowns, Lamar or Deshaun?
I've got Lamar Jackson, his performance last week and his consistency over the last year plus. I got Mike Rob's X's and O in my head. I've got the 41-7 game that I covered last year in my head. I've got all this in my head that tells me Baltimore and Lamar Jackson, so I'm going Lamar Jackson here. Much as I would like to pick Deshaun Watson, it's Lamar for me.
Yeah, 4 touchdowns the last time they played. I'm remembering that game as well. D-Hall, more receiving yards here. Let's go Adam Thielen or T.Y. Hilton.
Oh, this is an easy one, man. I'm going with Adam Thielen, man. Adam Thielen and Kirk Cousins connection. I just think they have that chemistry. They've been in sync. We've seen the big numbers Adam Thielen can put up in this offense. You know, I think Phillip Rivers and T.Y. are still trying to figure out, you know, their chemistry. T.Y. dropped some balls that he was mad at himself about. But I think this chemistry between Adam Thielen and Kirk Cousins is going to take me to a win on this one.
It is just blossoming. All right, let's go on the ground here. Mike Rob, more rushing yards, Adrian Peterson or Aaron Jones?
This is a tough one for me because I love Adrian Peterson. I love what he did last week. But I'm gonna go Aaron Jones on this one. Yes, Aaron Rodgers is his quarterback. His quarterback is on fire right now. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to win the MVP this year. I think he really understands his offense. In that passing game, those passes to Devontae Adams and Valdez-Scantling is going to open up even more space for Aaron Jones. So I'm going to say more rushing yards. The running back, RB number 1 for the Packers, Aaron Jones.
All right, Colleen, for you, more scrimmage yards, Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Austin Eckler? I already know where you're going.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Yeah, what are we doing here with the nickname? Are we going Clydesdale? Is that what it is? I'm going Clyde Edwards-Helaire here. He looked amazing last week, 138 rushing yards. But you know what? He wasn't involved in the passing game, which I found a little curious. 0 receptions. He had the 2nd most receptions for running backs in the FBS last year. And this is a guy that I think on the other side of things, Austin Eckler, his role is going to be a little bit different than it was with Phillip Rivers, because Phillip Rivers, he would sort of look to make those dump-off passes, whereas Tyrod Taylor, he kind of looks to keep it a little bit more. So Clyde Edwards-Helaire all day long in this one. I'm so excited to watch him play again.
What our cousins
Andy Reid is going to
Good Morning Football, Good Morning Football weekdays. I think that's what they're calling them, Clydesdale. So if you want to